can remember one.
Okay.
I can remember one. So you were running your property management company.
Yes.
And you now know where I'm going with this, right? You were running your property management company. We owned
yeah.
a ton of, a lot of doors at this time in upstate New York. And so you know where I'm going? So go ahead.
With the tenants who didn't want to pay because they couldn't, they paid me, they couldn't feed their children, and this was my livelihood. And I said, I'm sorry, but if you don't pay me, I can't feed my children.
And so I'm going to help her out a little bit here. So what that drove her to do is to be firmer,
Yeah.
to be how to deal and negotiate and pull that money out of these folks, but still being kind to them, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Limited kind.
I was just so proud of her, folks. I jumped up out of my little cubicle and ran right over there after she got her phone off the phone and gave her a big hug. I was just so proud of her. It was great.
But that's
really...
not my nature. I'm not like a rough, mean person. I'm not. I'm not really. And actually, that's one of the reasons I wanted to give up the property management company, because I could feel that it was making my heart very hard, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it how it made me feel anymore, and how I had to talk to people, and I don't want to be talked to that way. So.
Alyssa?
On that note, Alyssa.
I can't think of any one. You said life-changing event,
life-changing
right?
event. Yeah, besides meeting Ron, what other life-changing event?
For me, it was really ongoing, and I go back to my children, because that really is what drives me with everything I do. Is my family. We want to build a legacy for our family. Everything we do, that's the end game for us. It's our family and the next generation. So every time I had a new child, I had to readjust everything again. I had to refocus on my goals. Okay, right now, at this moment, what's important to me? Where do I need to focus my energy? And how do I divide that energy so that I'm good at being the mom, the new mom, the existing mom, the wife, and the business? And so it's really an ongoing. There's always things that come your way that you have to readjust and change. What brought us down here to Myrtle Beach is my husband was driving 3 hours in rush hour every day to his job, great company, very high stress job though. And his father retired from that company. Within 2 years of retiring, had a heart attack. Thank God he's still with us. A lot of the men who retired were not so lucky. So we saw a lot of men working all their lives hard in a high stress environment, and then within 2 years they're dead.
The same thing in the military.
And
exactly the same thing.
They say it with a lot of careers. And then a year or two after that, his brother had a heart attack. Thank God again, he's with us. But those events really changed our direction as a couple. We decided, you know what, our lives here are very cushy, we're very comfortable, and we could stay here forever. Or we can move, start something new, and create something for our children that will be here when we're not. And so, again, throughout life, you're always going to have different things that happen that change your path and your direction and your timing.
And I noticed you said legacy. So when you start a business, build a business, or buy and take over a business, you have two choices what you're going to do with that business. And legacy is one of them. And obviously the other one is it's a short-term thing. Your legacy means you're going to pass it down to the family. You're going to create it for the next generation. And then the other obvious one is you're not doing that.
Right.
So how are the kids for you? Are they on board with that? Do they want to be a part of what you're starting now to build?
Yes, Carpenter Construction actually began and was created because my oldest son, Jake, has an interest in construction, and my husband has the experience and the knowledge. And so they work alongside each other every day, and I love seeing that. Dad's teaching my son, and I have that entrepreneurial spirit, so I'm trying to teach him kind of that value, that.
And you're talking specifically about Jake more?
Well, as far as Carpenter Construction goes, more for Jake, and as the other children come up and they get older, I believe that they will find their niche in our different companies
Right.
as we go
Right.
forward.
And I'll give you one piece of advice. So when they graduate, whether it's from school or college, whenever they're ready then to come on board, one of the mistakes that we made, and then we quickly realized it and then backtracked and forced our kids to go work with somebody else. We let them work for us for a little bit.
Yep.
They thought it was, wow, this is too easy. I'm just mom and dad. I can get away with all kinds of stuff, you know. And then we said, all right, now it's time for you to go out and get your own job, and then come back to us. And that seems to have worked for us.
Yes.
Yeah, Jake worked full-time for a year.
Look, Jake could leave
before.
you today and have a career doing commercials. I'm telling you.
He's your next.
Hey,
You're
when
your next
when
guest.
I'm out at a restaurant and somebody walks up to me and I feel like I'm not known around here, right? So I can go out and be not have people
Incognito.
bother me, you know. And not that people really bother me, but
No.
you know what I mean. And somebody walk up and say, Jake was on that advertising or
On your
commercial or
commercial.
something like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that kid's got a career. So,
He's a good kid.
so Jake, if you're listening this morning, buddy, do not let your parents manhandle you. You got options, buddy. You got options. All right. Dee, how do you stay focused?
Oh my gosh. That's like an
Well, how
oxymoron.
about this? Focused and or motivated. I'll use either word for you.
Well, focused in our family is like, since I'm often known as the squirrel,
Okay.
that's almost like, I'm sure my friends and family are like falling off their chair laughing right now because that's not me at all. But what does keep me on point and what really works for me is writing things down. I live with Post-it notes everywhere, and I have a to-do list that I hand write. I don't have it on my phone or in any text message. I hand write it out every single day, and I update it. And I update it, and I scratch off the things that I've completed, and I love that sense of accomplishment. But if I did not have that list in front of my face all the time, I'd be in 50 different places all at one time.
Right.
So
Now,
focus is
because I listened, here's something for everybody to learn. I listened. I actually really listened to what you just had to say, right? And because of that, no, because a lot of salespeople, they hear you talk, but they're not really listening and trying to cultivate a way in,
Exactly.
right? Because
So
they need to find that
listen
thing.
to me. Then.
Exactly.
Write it down.
Right. So what I'm saying though is, Alissa, for handling our new merchandise that's coming out for the Sid Chase group, right? One of the things that will fit in your world, so you have no more Post-it notes, is our new planner.
Ooh,
So we're coming out with a new planner, and the planner's going to have some. There's no dates on it. So you can put in your own date, you set your own goals. There'll be a list for goals, there'll be a list for strategies, and all this stuff will be on our new planner. And when's that planner coming out?
Probably
Right before
2
Christmas?
to 3 weeks, yeah.
Right before Christmas, you'll be able to get that on what website?
SidChase.com.
Awesome, look at that.
SYD.
Right, and it'll be cool, it'll be very cool. So,
Yeah.
there we go.
Do
All
you
right.
want to take a commercial break? Or?
No, we're going to keep rolling.
Okay.
We don't need
No
a commercial
commercials
anybody.
today.
Add something into what
Sure,
Dee
yes.
you just said about writing things down. For me, it's a color-coded calendar or a planner.
Mhm.
So I have and I have a large calendar in our home office as well, and everything's color-coded. So when it's something for Carpenter Construction, it gets put on the border in my calendar in green, because right now that's where the money is.
Mhm.
So that's the green.
Right.
Things that are specifically for real estate is pink, because that's just me and I'm a girl, so I chose pink. But you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Everything on that calendar, if I have something with the children that I need to go a tournament or something, it goes on the calendar in a different color. So at a glance, I can look at my calendar each day and I can say, okay, this is where I need to divide my time, and this is where my energy is going at these different times.
Right.
And I've used a color-coded calendar for years.
It helps you
And
prioritize.
And it helps you stay. I always say my house is controlled chaos at all times. It's controlled in my head. Other people don't see it. But the color coding is a quick visual. I'm very visual. And it just helps me immediately know where I need to be.
And what about you, Julie?
Writing stuff down is super important. I'm the sticky note person, and I love to be able to grab that sticky note, off the desk and throw it away when I got it done. But yeah, writing stuff down in the sticky notes. To me, I guess the sticky note is like the priority.
Yes,
You
me
know,
too.
There's other stuff you write down, but to me, the sticky note is priority.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so Dee, coming back to you, how about your goals? Do you write daily goals, hourly goals, weekly goals?
I actually, I've done the 3-year goal, the 5-year goal, and then the annual goal.
Okay.
My daily goal is just my sheet. You know, it's my sheet. And again, the color coding, great idea. Sticky note works for me because I will stick it on the computer in front. So before I even turn that sucker on, this has to be done. Or if I'm out and about in sales calls, I will take that sticky note and stick it on the radio, and it's in front of my face so I do not forget to do whatever it is that I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So the sticky notes work well for me.
Yeah.
But I do believe in goal setting, and I do believe in writing them down, putting them in a jar so that at the end of the year you can kind of circle back and see, have you accomplished any of these goals that you set out for?
Yeah.
So I think it's fun to do that. It's great to kind of go through that, but then it also keeps me on point with, you know, doing annual minutes and things like that, and looking at whatever I don't write a full business plan, but I have a 1-page business plan so that I'll revisit it each year just to kind of see where we were and where we need to go.
And do you have, both of you, Alyssa and Dee, do you have, because I know Julie doesn't do this, so I'm not going to ask her this question, but do you have
I'm glad you know me so well.
Yeah, well, didn't we just celebrate 27 years of
Yes.
Being together a couple days ago?
Yes, we did.
Right.
Congratulations.
I'm definitely going to
Thank
heaven,
you.
buddy. There's no doubt about it with me.
No,
I'm
she's
all
going
in.
to heaven soon.
Yeah. She gets the golden ticket. I get like a bronze or something, you know? Yeah. What was I going to say with that?
You weren't asking me.
Yeah.
The business plan.
The business. No.
It was goals.
Goals. So on the goals, do you guys have those unattainable goals? Those like universe type things that you keep like, I want to own a $20 million boat.
Well, there is
just
no
per se.
unattainable goal.
Okay.
There is none. A goal is a dream with a deadline. So you can dream whatever you want to dream,
Mhm.
as long as you write down a plan on how you're going to get there
Mhm.
and achieve that goal. It's up to you if you want to work hard enough to get that $20 million airplane.
That's right.
Right. And how about you, Dee?
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, I've always been a big dreamer, and it's okay. And there's going to be things that you will get and things that you won't get, and that's okay too.
Right.
And your life changes as you go through life
Goals
too.
change.
Yeah, your goals change. So what may have been like huge to you 10 years ago may not be the same 10 years from now.
That's
Right.
So
Right.
uh,
Okay.
I
Well, the reason I asked that question is because Grant, I won't give his last name, everybody knows who he is, so literally pretty much everybody should know who this Grant is. But Grant believes in what he called those universal unattainable goals that he puts down, that he likes to chase knowing that he'll never get them. And I'm with you too, completely against that. I think that's, you know, I mean, sure, if you're making $60,000 a year, you know, and you say I want a $50 million boat, that might be a little bit of a chore. Doesn't mean you can't get there.
You have to change what
you
you're
gotta
doing to
change
get it,
what you're
though.
doing. Not only change what you're doing, who you're hanging out with. That's one of the biggest things. Really, you know, you got to change who
That
is
was one
around
thing
your
I
circles.
thought of when we were talking about advice to, you know, people just stepping out, is being around people who are going to support you, encourage you to do what you're excited about, what you love, not people who are going to tear you down and, no, you can't do that.
Right,
It's because they don't understand it that they think that
Well,
way.
no, it's not that they don't understand it. Two things with that. Number one is they know they can never achieve it, and so they don't want you to get it, right? And no, we'll just leave it at that one. I'll just
That
say
sounds
the one.
good.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at one. I'm being censored here, so no, I'm just kidding. All right, so go ahead.
One thing that I always trained others when I was a mentor is set your goal higher than what you would be happy achieving, because it's very typical that you'll always fall a little short of your goal.
Mhm.
So if you raise that goal,
Mhm.
then when you fall just a little below, you're happy.
Right.
You're where you want to be.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you always
Don't-
want to strive to go higher.
Yeah, don't ever be upset that you missed a goal.
Mhm.
Don't ever be upset about that. I mean, it's the way
You
it
just
is.
reset it.
It's
You
just
reset
reset it and you drive on because, and I've always been the one to go a little higher with my goals than like you just said, because if I'm a little higher, then I tend to reach what I really want.
Yes.
You know, so there's that question. All right, so let's go on. We'll ask Julie this one first. What ways do you obtain customers or leads for your business?
Well, we've started doing a lot of advertising.
And what kind of advertising are we doing?
Our radio. Billboards, TV.
Mhm.
TV seems to be the most successful.
Mhm. It's also the one that costs the most.
Yeah.
But it does-
SEO work that
Yep.
Lexi's been doing has
Mhm.
really helped tremendously as
Yep.
well.
Yeah. And how about you, Dean? How do you obtain customers or leads?
Well, since my business focuses on building small businesses' online presence, that's where I focus my attention. So enhancing local listings, Facebook advertisement, Instagram advertisement has been really successful for myself and all of my clients.
Now, when you say Facebook, when you just specifically for your business, are you using paid Facebook or are you using the organic?
I'm
growth
using
type?
paid. I'm using
Okay.
both. I'm using
Okay.
it. I use both. I go across the board with all of that.
Okay.
Email marketing, e-news is fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm a huge believer of that. It works for all my clients.
Right. Now, are you doing like a blog or anything?
Yep.
To show off your specialty of what it is you're doing?
No,
Okay.
you know what, I think the market is really swinging towards the Facebook and Facebook following and social media followings. So I concentrate more in that area on the social media or the social media marketing. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Okay. And Alyssa?
We do a lot of word of mouth. So we start with, when you start a business, a lot of people don't have the money to spend on the advertising right away.
Mhm.
So for us, we did a lot of local Facebook pages. And we kind of advertised out on the local Facebook page, hey, if you guys need a fence, give us a call. Or here's a project we just did. If you want a screened-in porch, give us a call. And what we found is if you provide good customer service and you show up, because a lot of contractors just don't show up
Especially
at all.
here in
right.
Myrtle Beach.
Especially in
Yes.
Myrtle Beach. And you do a good job and you have a good work ethic, your name will spread quickly.
Mhm.
And so at this point in time, we're not doing a lot of advertising outside of that because we're getting a lot of calls, just word of mouth
Right.
from
great.
So,
clients. And the other thing that I think when you combine your businesses, because I'm also a realtor, I reach out to realtors that I know. And one of the things that we do in our company that is not typical of a lot of contractors is we work directly with realtors and homeowners who are getting ready to sell their home to get it market ready. So we go in and we give it a facelift.
Mhm.
We do the repairs. We do everything before it hits the market. Now the house sells quicker, sells for more money. Homeowners are happy. The realtors are happy. And it's a really good networking.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
agreed.
All right. On your agency side as a realtor, how do you get your name out in particular?
How do I get my personal
Well,
name
and
out?
the reason I'm asking you the question is because for people that are out there that are looking to start their own careers and get going, real estate is one of the ways to do that because even though you're assigned to a company, you're still an individual business,
Yes.
really. So it's your business, and that, yeah, they're going to have little policies and guidelines that you need to follow, but it's really when it comes down to the end of it, not all agencies are like this, but the majority of ones, you have to rely on your own skill set to get your brand or your name out there, right? And right now with the real estate, being the way that it is, it's booming pretty much everywhere across the country. This is an opportunity for some people who think they can sell real estate. This is a great time for you to switch over to that career. But as an individual, how does that person get their name out there?
There are a lot of different ways that you can get your name out there, and I think it all comes back to how much do you want to do with your career? How big do you want to be? Do you want to be a part-time realtor that it's a supplement, and you're happy with just a few clients, or do you want to be number one, top dog? And so with anything that you start, including real estate, I think that you start with your bucket. It's kind of like crabs in a bucket. You want to fill your bucket up, and some of the crabs just, stay in the bucket and some come out. But you just want to keep adding crabs, because if you don't, they're going to go away. And so you start with the people you know. Tell everybody you know what you're doing, because you're going to get clients just word of mouth to start with. And like what Dee said, there's so many social media avenues to get your name out there. But at the end of the day, no matter what you're doing, I really believe that if you have good customer service and you are in that business to serve others. A lot of realtors have a bad name because they think, oh, I'm going to give them all this money to sell my house, and they're not really working for me.
Right.
When I work with a client to buy or sell, it is really about what is best for them. Because if I can help them get what they want, I'm going to get what I want.
Right.
And so in any kind of sales, I think it's always going back to what is best for that client.
Absolutely.
$1 million house, while I'd love to sell it, probably isn't the best option for this client. Even if they can afford it, maybe it's not the best option. So it all goes back to knowing your client, knowing what they need or want, and helping them achieve it.
Did you have mentors along the way?
I've had so many people in my life that have helped me along the way, from former bosses to my family, my husband, my daughter. I feel really, really blessed that I have had so much encouragement that it just keeps the drive even that much stronger. And I would encourage anybody to get out there and just give it a try. Just go for it, give it a try. You'll be surprised how many people want to help you.
Yes.
They do. They just do. I mean, if anybody calls me, needs my help, I'm always there to give it. I don't care who it is, who calls, whatever. Because I think that's our role as business owners, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, is to help edify and build other people up.
Yes.
And how about you, Alissa? Any mentors along the way?
Same. I've had many over the years, but I've always looked to people who are successfully doing what I want to do.
Absolutely.
Because if I watch what they're doing and I ask questions, that's hard for me. Sometimes I don't want to ask the question because I don't want to feel like, oh, well, they don't know what I'm talking about, or they think I might not know what I'm talking about. But you have to ask questions and not be afraid of that. So surround yourself with the people who are already being successful at what you want to do, and you will pick up tricks and tips and confidence along the way.
So my favorite saying is, don't go to the cow farmer to raise pigs.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's really that simple.
And surround yourself with the people who are doing it well.
Right.
Yes.
Not raising
Right.
pigs, but
Right. Well, it doesn't matter what it is, but
Exactly.
just doing it well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I meant not raising pigs over selling cows.
Correct. Right. And here's coming down towards the end of the show. Here's one of the questions I'm kind of saving because it normally pertains more to women than it does to men. So I wanted to save this one for last. And I'm going to ask Dee first, only because I believe most of your children are out of the house, right? So it gives Alissa time to think about it. I'm being nice, right? So how do you maintain, how did you maintain a good work and life home balance?
Couple things. First of all, you have to focus on your strengths and farm out or contract out the things that you are not good at, and don't waste time trying to do that. And that was very, very difficult for me because I'm a control freak and I want to do it all and do it my way, and nobody does it my way, so it's just never worked for me. So that was really difficult for me, but I've learned over the years that, my gosh, look at how much more I could get done if I just let this girl do the graphics design and let somebody else do this and that. So that was one area. The other thing that I think is really important is to make exercise a must-do, not a, I think I'm going to do this, even if it's just a small 30-minute walk around the block. or yoga or something. I think it's important for you to stay healthy for yourself, for your business, and for your family.
Right. Yeah, almost like a meditation period. And I don't need necessarily mean
quiet time.
folding
time.
your legs up and sitting in front of the ocean, you know, doing this on your thumbs, which is nothing wrong with that.
Well, I was going to say,
But-
I still think that's really important
No,
too.
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that for some people who, for me, I can't do that. I can't sit and be quiet like that. I have to take that walk. For me,
Right.
when I was younger,
Yep.
it was I would go run for 5 or 6 miles, and during that time period, it's when my thoughts kind of cleared my head and
Yep.
were able to, you know, really think about things. So,
Yep, me too.
Yep, and Alissa.
It really, you guys just hit the nail on the head. You have, as women, we always want to do for other people first, and we forget about ourselves. And so for many years, that was the case with me, or off and on throughout my life, I would kind of forget about myself and focus in on others. And what I found is when I pull it back in and get my massage every 2 weeks, because that's what relaxes me and calms me and clarifies me and lets my mind become creative again. That's important. And then the next thing is to make your priorities and stick to your priorities. For me, all day long, it's my children and my husband. So while business is important, and I know that it's going to pay the bills and it's going to create that legacy, I really, really believe that it always comes back to that first. So if my child has something that I don't want to miss, that's on my calendar, and it's color-coded and it's starred, and I do that first.
Right. So I'm going to add one thing into Alyssa's that she forgot to mention, and then and this will also go with Julie, so that Julie doesn't have to take up a minute of her time explaining that. Both of them drink a lot of wine.
I think
Wait,
Dee
all of us
actually
do.
Oh, and Dee does too?
I don't
Right.
drink wine. I drink shots. No.
Wait a minute, 'cause I happened to catch you at the winery the other night drinking slushies.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway.
slushy wine. That's a whole different
So,
beast.
well, I want to thank both of you, all three
Yes.
of you, really, for coming in today. We're at the end of the show. We got about 2 minutes left, so Julie's going to run through the activities. You can, everybody out there can have any questions for any of them, those three lovely ladies. Leave them. We'll make sure they get to them, and we'll get them answered. Thank you both very much, Julie.
Yes, thank you.
always. And what's going on in Myrtle Beach
Okay,
this weekend
activities
coming
in
up?
Myrtle Beach on November 23rd, Thanksgiving Day. Myrtle Beach is having a turkey trot in Market Commons. Surfside Beach is having a turkey trot as well, Thanksgiving morning. And then the Oceanfront Boardwalk annual tree lighting is November 23rd.
Yep, and we were at the Market
Market
Commons one
Commons.
last night.
And we missed the lighting.
Yeah, we were having dinner at Torini's and missed the lighting.
All right, I want to do a couple did you knows?
Sure, did
Okay.
you know?
Did you know more people are allergic to cow's milk than any other food?
Didn't know that, okay.
The first train reached a top speed of only 5 miles per hour.
Okay,
A honeybee's top speed is 15 miles per
and
hour.
I got one to add that wasn't here on your sheet.
Yes.
76% of all people in America live paycheck to paycheck.
Wow.
76% live paycheck to paycheck. So if you're tired of doing that, get a hold of us and we'll help you out.
We hope you enjoyed the show today and learned a few things. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at sid@sidchase.com or 315-398-3322.
So until next week, look us up on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and then
Yes.
come back next week and enjoy another show
Yes.
with us.
Be safe and enjoy your week, everyone.
Rock on.